Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Bloodborne on PS4. As usual, my name is Mike, otherwise known as the Gadget Addict, and welcome to another post-commentary boss fight. This time we are taking on the Witch of Hemwick. If you remember the last episode, I tried taking her on with a co-op buddy and failed spectacularly because I didn't know how to deal with this fight, and I've tried it another couple of times since. And this is basically this game's token puzzle fight. Now, if you've ever played a FromSoft game in the past, there's always at least one fight which is a puzzle. So Dark Souls had, what do you call it? It had the Bed of Chaos. Demon Souls had the Dragon God, where it's not strictly a fight. It's a it's a puzzle you've got to work out. Now, the witch itself is this thing here, and it's invisible for the majority of the time. But when you get near it, it appears, and it's very easy to backstab it, as I did there, and took off a huge amount of its health. But to further complicate matters, there is a second one. Yes, there are two of them, so it's not the Witch of Hemwick, it's the Witches of Hemwick. And they spawn, you see that gangly looking thing walking around there. Now, the whole point of the fight is you've got to find the witches, and you've got to deal with them. If you start taking on those sickle-carrying motherfuckers over there, they'll just spawn more of them, basically. So what you kind of have to do is the witches tend to stick around the edge of the battle space. You know, around the edge of the room here. So what you've got to do is you've got to find them, basically. And when you get near them, they will appear. And so you end up running many laps of this room looking for them. Now, sometimes you can find the second one by mistake, and if you attack it, the health bar won't go down. That's because she has her own health bar, which doesn't become visible until you've killed the first one. Obviously, you can still take damage off her, but, you know, you don't... Yeah, I think this is the second one. I can't remember. I think the second one's actually red. No, this is the first one. There we go, get another backstab. Right, so the second one around about now should start appearing when I walk around. As you can see, they don't have a huge amount of health, and I've managed to get her down to, what's that, under a quarter of her health fairly quickly. But then this is the point where it gets complicated, because now, at some point, I'll run into the second one, and there's now two of those walking fuckers around. That's how you know when the second one has appeared. The witches themselves don't have any particular weaknesses, and the sickle guys don't have any particular weaknesses. None of them are very strong. It's a case of, it's a war of attrition. It's, you know, it's numbers. So yeah, there, this one, I think this is the second one. There, you see the health bar isn't going down. That's because the invisible health bar is going down, which is why I just ignored her for now, because I want to get the first one dead. When you get the first one dead, the second health bar appears. And that was a bad situation to be in. If you aggro the walking fellas, there we go, there's the first one again, and she's down, and so in a second the second health bar will appear. There you go. Oh no, that's, yeah, so at this point now we get three of these sickle carrying motherfuckers. There you go, there's the second health bar. But you notice the first one doesn't disappear because the second witch can revive the first witch. So you've got the way I like to put into it, you've got the red one, which is this one, then you've got the white one, which is the first one. So I kind of buggered this up. I mean, obviously I beat this boss battle this time, but I buggered up the technique for it. So what you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to get the first witch down to about where I had her before I killed her, so it was about just under a quarter. Then you start taking on the second witch, and then once you get them to about even, you then just jump between the two of them and start killing them that way, and then they don't have time to revive. You see, I buggered it up. You see, this first one's now being revived. You don't see them attacking in this fight either. They do actually have attacks. They can do an AoE blast. They can grab you and kind of gouge your eyeballs out. There you go. So the first one's dead again. So now it's a case of finding the second one and killing it as quickly as possible. Yeah, they do have an AoE attack. They have a couple of physical attacks as well, which aren't pleasant to deal with. Because, like I said, they grab you to the ground, and then they kind of try and gouge your eyeballs out. Now, if you aggro these guys, just keep running, like this. Eventually they'll lose track of you, and they'll just continue patrolling. They'll still always generally patrol in your vague area, but they'll not come straight for you. If that makes sense. They'll not chase you. I think this is where I get it. Maybe not. Oh no, there we go. And there we go. There's the witch's dance. That's how we do it. Now you've got to wait a few seconds for those guys to disappear. They will eventually disappear, but you just have to be careful of it. You get 4 bloodstained eyeballs for your troubles. And that is the fight done. Now, obviously a lamp spawns, but before you hit the lamp, you want to go down this room at the end, because a very important key item that you really do need if you want to progress. You just hop into the witch's abode. You find a hunter tied to a chair, and there you get the rune workshop tool. Now, if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I was picking up some runes. I picked up the communion rune, the lake rune, and I've got 4 runes anyway. That tool will allow you to go to Hunter's Dream and memorize them at the altar in the house. So it's a very important tool to have. So in kind of summary, for the Witch of Hemwick, I want to keep saying the Witches of Eastwick, but the Witch of Hemwick, all you need to do is just avoid the guys with the sickles. Just run around in circles until one of them appears, get in with a backstab, kill it, and then when you get the first one down to about quarter health, start fighting the second one, get them down to about even health, and then hop between the 2. And eventually you'll get them done. You shouldn't need a co-op buddy for this fight because it's actually quite easy. It's a pain in the arse if you don't absolutely know how to do it. Here, this is me playing with the runes here. So a Beast, Lake, Air, and Communion. So that's the fight done. So if you enjoyed this, please do make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and come back tomorrow for when we go off to Hypogean Jail. For now though, good night.